referee tonight comes from Spain, José María Garza Aranda, who's a 40-year-old professor of physical education. Juventus in their famous black and white striped shirts, tonight in their black shorts. Now what's the next step then for Manchester United? 3 weeks ago, I suppose, we started counting our chickens a little too early against Fenerbahce, and look where that got us. I think there's a real fear amongst Manchester United faithful tonight that Juventus, such a powerful side, possibly could rip a real hole in their European Championship hopes. Offside against Boxic. One thing is absolutely and chillingly certain, is that United, to get anything here tonight, have really got to be on top of their game. Juventus with great skills and great technique, and the other thing to remember about them is few sides work harder. Their coach Lippi, Marcello Lippi, is a great advocate of sides working really hard. Montero with a header clear, Delivio helping it on its way. Terrific atmosphere here at Old Trafford, 53,000 sellout, and a goal kick. Gary Neville on the far side. Montero getting back there under pressure from Solskjaer. Another goal kick. Your early thoughts, Ron?
Yes, I think it's so important for the United midfield quartet, if you like, including Giggsy, to establish themselves, both in terms of controlling the game and also in putting a barrier in front of Boxic and Del Piero. They mustn't let Boxic and Del Piero get chances to run at the United back four. Interesting as well that Perini's gone to right fullback, whether that's, and we know Torricelli can play both flank defensive positions, but I just wonder whether that's the job on Giggs.
Delivio trying to release Boxic. Del Piero's in the middle. Jurgovic is in there too. Problems here for Manchester United. On the far side, Del Piero almost got to it, but in fact it was a header by Gary Neville that got it away. Ferrara with the header. Terrific pace and terrific noise here at Old Trafford tonight. Alan Ferguson wanted the crowd to give the team everything they've got, and they're doing just that. Buck getting in first there. Cantona with a little back heel. His form improved a little bit against Arsenal at the weekend, and goodness knows what that victory did for Manchester United. It raised their spirits when so many things seem to be going against them, and you just hope that they can pick up the pieces from that and repeat it again here tonight as Keane finds Philip Neville. Keane again, once again to Philip Neville, and here's Giggs, his first real look at the ball, chipping it inside for Cantona. Cantona now for Butt, almost getting it through to Solskjaer, and Beckham on the far side. So, the United manager looking for a good tempo in this game. Up goes Cantona, and a corner that came off Porini.
I think everybody will be pleased that United are playing with it, if you like, a front two, albeit Cantona having the licence, but at least he's got a partner today with Solskjaer up there.
Corner played in by David Beckham. Delivio going for this, but there was a good deal of determination about Philip Neville's challenge there. There's a lovely little touch for the Frenchman Zidane. Del Piero's in the middle, and so was David May. They're getting a couple of crosses in, and both times, could be a problem here. No, it's gone over. But May and Schmeichel, and Butt was back in there too, and Schmeichel was furious with his defenders, and a corner needlessly conceded there. Played in there by Zidane. Schmeichel came but didn't collect.
I think at this stage you're happy to concede a corner, Brian.
Knocked away that time by Jonsson. Played in again, a little touch by Del Piero. And a shot by Del Piero, saved by Schmeichel. just have gone outside.
He's going to be very, very important, I feel, tonight, Schmeichel. You know, you get the feeling, particularly with Zidane's pushed in alongside the other two front strikers, you get the feeling that they could be more than a handful for the United backline.
Cantona way on the right. Beckham also way on the right. Solskjaer, quick interception again, and here come Juventus up to Bocic, and it came off Gary Neville. Tried to hold off Del Piero. Torricelli now knocking it inside to Jurgovic. Johnson very calm getting that one away, but not very far. And here come Juventus again. May just knocking it straight back to him again now. And this time it'll go for a corner.
Yeah, I think you can sense the nerves amongst the United defenders.
Without a doubt.
Once or twice they've just dismissed the ball as hastily as they can do. What it's also shown with the early part, you know, there's a suggestion that Juventus may have had one eye on Tuesday, the World Championship in Tokyo.
They play there next Tuesday against River Plate.
They've come looking at them, they've come to win.
Without a doubt. They need 1 point to be absolutely sure of qualifying for the quarterfinals. They're not going to mess about here tonight. Jurgovic with the corner. And Schmeichel gets it. Oh my goodness, he almost lost it for a moment. They looked very vulnerable again from that corner, didn't they?
Yeah, they look jittery at the back.
The ball is going to be changed. I think one of the things that upset Alec Ferguson against Fenerbahce was that United never really got a winning tempo going. They've really got to get a winning tempo here.
Well, this game itself brings the tempo, Brian. I mean, you see Juventus, that in itself stirs up your passion, doesn't it, in the game?
Schmeichel eventually will take this.
I mean, I honestly thought Juventus would sit behind the game for the first 20 minutes and bed themselves down. But looking at them, they're very, very attack-minded with Zidane coming out.
And Zidane coming on the right-hand side, and Delivio, who's normally on the right-hand side, is playing a central midfielder tonight.
He's game, he can work everywhere. I think he epitomises the Italian team.
That was him on the ball there, but here's Giggs. Just can't get anything going, and they're storming forward again, Juventus. Del Piero and Zidane, and here's Bocic, and the flag has stayed down, and he just couldn't collect it. And Gary Neville just got there in time, was holding his thigh for a moment there, Gary Neville. Zidane playing it through. Del Piero gets it back. Zidane again. Porini. The little ball, no. Nothing for Bocic there.
I think he pulled up early there, Bocic. I think he thought he was offside.
Deschamps, Delivio, Deschamps, Porini, Zidane, and May stabbing it away. Cantona couldn't find Butt with what really should have been quite a simple ball. Jurgovic. Del Piero's offside.
Brian, I don't know whether United have been doing a fair amount of work on this. They look as if they're playing a very narrow back foot and they're trying to hold the ground a little bit, and I think that could be a problem. I think if they don't have a little bit of depth in the defence, you see they're very, very good at playing balls through people, the Italian team, and they'll look to spot balls in behind May and in behind Johnson.
Schmeichel with a kick.
I'd just like to see the two centre-halves insuring each other a little bit.
United, of course, still without Gary Pallister, although I gather he might be fit to return against Leicester next week. He certainly would be fit to return for what could be a crucial game in Vienna in early December.
I think it's when he's not playing you realise what a good influence he is for them, doesn't he? I mean, he gets across there with his pace and his power and sees a lot of things off, a lot of those through balls over the years. He's just cleaned out for them.
Gary Neville with a throw. Beckham, Neville, Beckham. Here's Keane. But Giggs. Oh, chance Murray for Beckham. Goal kick. Gets a corner.
I just thought for a minute he was in there, David Beckham.
And Brian McClare coming on. I had a suspicion that Philip Neville was struggling. I mentioned it a moment ago that he was struggling, but in the meantime, let's just see what happens here now. Here comes the corner. Floated wide. And May just over the top.
Well, it was a brilliant header. Tacked a great ball in from Beckham. He attacks it well. For half a second, I thought Peruzzi got a little nick on that over the top. Good strong header there. He's outclimbed. That'll encourage them. No, he's missed it by miles.
And that's from the other side. Well, it's Philip Neville who is coming off.
Will Keane have to go in the back four now?
He would be loath to do that, wouldn't he?
He will, but looking at them now, I can't really see too many options.
Here's Keane. Couldn't get through to Cantona. D'Olivio up to Boxic. Zidane's made a little move through the middle. Del Piero's already up there. Deschamps to Zidane. Torricelli away on the left. Here's Boxic as well. He is so quick. And he's a big, powerful man as well. But May, who very nearly scored at the other end, makes a little bit of a hash of getting that away. But it falls for Nicky Butt. And now for Ryan Giggs. Here's Cantona on this side of the field. He's covering some ground tonight. Neville, who will be coming off in a moment. It comes through to Beckham. A back heel didn't go anywhere.
They're giving them very little time, aren't they, Juventus? I mean, that was the impressive thing about them in the first match in Turin, how such a bunch of talented players could work so hard for each other. And it's evident here again tonight. They're hustling, chasing, hunting the ball, making sure United can't set up any passing rhythms.
Here's Torricelli. Del Piero. Here's Gary Neville. Played inside delicately there for Beckham. Oh, and he's lost it there. And it was Roy Keane who lost it. And McClare who comes on. Philip Neville, who we understand has got a hamstring problem. And so McClare, greatly experienced, good player.
His brother's going to go. Gary Neville looks as if he's going to switch to left back. I would have thought Keane would have gone to right back then, which would be a blow for them. No. Unless Johnson goes. Johnson could go there and Keane could go central defender.
Well, Johnson's gone left back. Keane has gone into centre back alongside May. Gary Neville at right back. And McClare has gone to a midfield position. Have you seen over 30 times in Europe, Brian McClare?
Have you seen Keane play central defender, Brian?
Yep.
I think that's his best position. I think it's a phenomenal centre.
I think it's just a shame that the midfield is robbed of his surges. That's the problem.
Yep.
May battling with Del Piero. Good play there by Beckham. That's right, you've got to start carrying the fight to them. You've got to start upping the tempo a bit. McClare trying to do that. Jugovic. Getting the ball along for Boxic, who had to be a good 7 or 8 yards offside.
The only thing that does to the midfield, of course, it leaves them without a natural defender. I know Butt's a good tackler and he will get back, and Beckham will make tackles back. But it does leave them very, very short on somebody that just holds the centre of the midfield.
Number 2 sides from the group of 4 go into the quarterfinals. Juventus are almost there with 10 points. Manchester United at the moment with 6. Fenerbahce with 4. And Rapid Vienna with 2. Del Piero this side for the first time. Now little D'Olivio on the outside right position. They get it away, and as far as Del Piero, there could be problems here. A strong challenge and a foul conceded by Ronnie Johnson. Now this could be a problem. Just outside the box, it's a Del Piero range. There was the free kick.
There's a bit unlucky. It's a definite foul, but he's wrong-footed in there.
Del Piero, ace free kick specialist. Mind you, Montero, who's
got quite a dig on him, is also lining it up, the Uruguayan, number 4. Del Piero, it flicked off the wall, it's a corner. Youngest player in the Juventus side, Del Piero. 22. Marcello Lippi, named in the last week or so as Italy's manager of the year. Here comes the corner for Juventus. Another good long one, but straight into the arms of Schmeichel. Scholes versus Montero. And they get it back to Peruzzi, who's scarcely had anything to do. Cantona's header into touch.
Very testing times, isn't it? Very testing times for United at the moment. They're really putting them to the sword.
Oh, a lovely touch there again. A beautiful touch again, but this time Schmeichel read it well before Bocic could get there. But they are playing like the home side at the moment.
Yeah, it's very hard. All United can do at the moment is try and pull together and stick in there and hope that they don't concede in this period. I think I'd like to see Butch just a little bit more withdrawn, because Zidane, we've said, plays on the right, but he also tickles into that little position behind the front players. With United having sort of attacking type midfield players, there's plenty of space for him to pick up anything loose.
It's Beckham getting it long towards Solskjaer, and McClair with a shot. Goal kick.
There's McClair lurking. I think he's actually given Solskjaer offside here, the linesman.
Well, United were looking for a bright, aggressive start, but that really has come from Juventus, with a lot of skill thrown in as well, as Del Piero chases this, and Schmeichel just has to come and fly hack it away.
Brian, that would worry me an awful lot. There's an awful lot of space between the back 4 and Schmeichel, and they are quick people. And quick people like to just, particularly against the flat back 4. I mean, Keane will give them a lot more pace at the back, but they'll lose a lot in midfield with him going in there.
Cut out by Jonsson. But knocked forward again. Good turn by Solskjaer, but he ran straight into Perini. Solskjaer's not finished yet, though, but neither are Juventus. And Montero gets that one away. Again up to Del Piero. Delivio. Bocic. Delivio. What a test this is for United. Can they live with this sustained exhibition of skill and class?
Brian, I know there's a long way to go, but I bet if you spoke to Alex now and said, what result would you do? He'd say, I'd take the draw right now.
I'm sure he would.
And this is a massive event for them now. But they're still all square. And anything, they'll get their time in the game no matter how good the opposition are. United will dominate some period.
McClair to Beckham. And now to Cantona. Drifting away from one flank to the other. Flicked into McClair again. And this time there's a free kick to Manchester United.
Well, we saw what May did on the first one. I wouldn't have expected May to get headers in against people like Ferrara.
Well, May's gone forward again.
He's in there as well. And Beckham's a great deliverer.
Keane is up there too, and Jonsson. Giggs is playing it in, and Ferrara getting it away. Cantona across the face of the goal, and Beckham couldn't quite catch it on the other side. But that was a bad mistake by Ferrara, and suddenly it's 3 against 3 for Juventus coming forward now. Zidane to Jugovic, and Bocic in the middle, and Giggs, and in the end Neville gets it away. Beckham's little touch. Solskjaer trying to get it back to him. Torricelli getting back.
Well, out of all the play, you say there was 2 good chances in the space of about 3 seconds there for United. I think maybe Cantona should have done better with his shot, and certainly Beckham would probably feel he ought to have gotten the end of it.
Jugovic, Torricelli, who had such a terrific game in the European Cup final against Ajax in Rome last summer. Delivio. Gary Neville getting it back to Peter Schmeichel. Ferrara Zidane, Ferrara, the Frenchman Zidane, just turned away in time from McClair. Delivio. They are threading those balls through.
Yeah,
for
I actually thought that time, that's the danger. I thought Boksic was actually offside on that occasion, but there's nothing from the linesman. And sometimes when you live on a knife edge like that, you'll get some decisions, but some will go against you as defenders.
Johnson. Giggs. He's picked up Butt. And now Cantona. Cantona picking up Neville. They're getting a few passes together now. Beckham on the far side. Hitting a long ball here towards Ronnie Johnson. Well, he's kept it in, but Parini gets it away. Oh, here's McClair. But Cantona's drawn wide. Torricelli's gone with him. He's flicked it inside now for McClair, but McClair's flick goes straight to Didier Deschamps. But another Frenchman, Cantona, gets it back again. And here come United again. McClair keeping it in play. Roared on by the crowd now. Looking for a good cross in here. Giggs is on the end of it. Low kick.
Bit more encouraging now. As soon as they've come into the attacking half of the field, United, they've had 2 or 3 very good little chances. I mean, that wasn't a bad. That could have developed into a fair chance. This, I felt, once Giggs gets inside the defender, and on another day might have been on target with him. What they really need, United.
This was the chance that Cantona.
Oh, it's a slash. But there again, he's unlucky. He slips. But at this level, at this stage,
Giggs
has got to count his chances.
Beckham on the far side. He's gone past 1, but he can't go past 2. Oh, I think the flag had already been waved. The whistle had gone.
I think once he'd done the first one, once he'd done Torricelli, I think he should have just teased the ball into the box.
Yeah.
Then. Does that job well, actually. He's done it for Glanford England, hasn't he, at the right-hand side? But I think he's going to be one of the great central midfield players for years to come.
Peruzzi with the kick. Captain of Juventus. In the absence of Conte, who's injured and out for quite a while. Torricelli with the throw. Zidane. Oh, robbed there by Nicky Butt. That's more like it. Upping the pace a little bit, but Zidane got back at him too, and Torricelli is there to help out. Jugovic. Torricelli. Right foot this time towards Boksic. Juventus at the moment have had more of the possession. As Beckham plays it long, Ferrara shepherds it back to his goalkeeper. Zidane again, talented Frenchman. Jugovic, no. Gary Neville, and now Beckham. Space ahead of him. Also Solskjaer ahead of him. Cantona in the central there. Cantona, the crowd were yelling for him to get a shot in, but it just wouldn't fall for him. And Jugovic carefully getting the ball up to Boksic. Delivio. Giggs has pulled back to try and add some support. Del Piero. Still Del Piero. Cunning ball played back there towards Boksic, but Roy Keane was there for Manchester United. Jugovic, a long shot, and Schmeichel couldn't prevent it going for the corner, and he's annoyed with himself for that.
Yeah, we know Jugovic has got a hell of a dig, but I mean that's one that Schmeichel should have fielded very comfortably.
And Jugovic with the corner. Borin is up. And Montero's up. He scored in the last round against Rapid Vienna. Delivio. That really was a blistering first quarter of an hour from Juventus. But
Now United beginning to find their feet a bit. As Giggs comes forward, Beckham is streaming down the right-hand side, and Torricelli there to get it away. Up
goes Nicky Butt. Cantona just caught offside.
Seems whenever they can get the ball out to Beckham in that high outside right position, things happen for them. He's a good crosser of the ball, and he can also play with people, bring the ball into the corners of the penalty box. But this is the move that worries me. I know Keane will give them that bit of added pace.
Campbell, Del Piero.
But if you watch boxing when moves are developing, he's just always on the shoulder of the last man, a bit like Lineker used to be and like Shearer does now, and Ian Rush in his prime.
Cantona. Johnson. Back it goes.
Yeah, but it's United have managed to sort of steady the ship, if you like, a little bit. They've weathered that first storm.
Deschamps. A rash challenge there from Gary Neville. Keane gets there first, helped by May. Shunted forward again there towards Solskjaer. He's not been able to make any impression yet. Ferrara hits long. And Del Piero caught offside. Marcello Lippi's side. They lost to Inter Milan in the Italian Cup 3-0 a week or so ago, and he was furious with them. But he was full of praise for their performance 0-0 against Milan on Sunday night. And of course they leave here to go to Tokyo to play the World Club Championship final against River Plate, the South American champions, next Tuesday. So busy times for these men of Juventus. And let's hope Manchester United can give them plenty to think about tonight as well. They're going to throw United on the far side. Gary Neville will take it. Throws quite a good, long, respectable throw. But this time it's the shorter one to Beckham. Onto the left foot. Back to Peter Schmeichel. Being attacked by Del Piero. Ferrara winning it in the air, but unfairly against Eric Cantona. Free kick to Manchester United. It's with Johnson. At last it's Giggs again. You just feel he's got that little bit of magic, can light the whole night up. But he gets a free kick there.
I think they look for more from him. No, he hasn't played for a few weeks.
Hasn't played for about 6 weeks, you see.
That's what he's got to do. He's got to carry the fight on this side of the field. There hasn't an awful lot come from the left-hand side of the field yet.
Played against Arsenal on Saturday, of course. Here comes a free kick. Beckham with it again. Driven towards the far post. Johnson was up in there for that one. McClare playing it wide for Cantona. But he's lost it. Oh, my goodness, he's in trouble.
Yes, it's a booking.
He's got at least a booking there. It's a yellow card. Oh, for Eric Cantona.
Don't think he can have any complaints whatsoever about that.
3 United players already on yellow cards, let me remind you. Gary Neville and David Beckham and one of the substitutes, Jordi Cruyff. Now they're joined by Eric Cantona. 2 yellow cards means a suspension, and that's the last thing Manchester United want. Montero, the Uruguayan, getting it away. David May hitting it towards Solskjaer. I think the referee might well have given obstruction there. Or has he?
I think he has. He's given it the other way.
Yeah, he's given it
Juventus the free kick.
They never give it the other way. Peruzzi with the kick. And Ferrara. What a fine player he is. Porini. Keane got there first. Jurgovic with a header. Didier Deschamps to Torricelli. Deschamps again, the little Frenchman. Jurgovic. Boksic. Delivio. Porini, good control. Porini's throw. Delivio. Oh, now that's to go a long way. Well, they were United players surely who could have got that away in the end. It was the forceful Roy Keane who got it away. And now Giggs are running straight into a whole pack of Juventus players. An offside flag is up against Del Piero. You can't stop for a moment here. It's breathtaking pace, isn't it?
Fabulous. Yeah, fabulous. I mean, it's tense, it's exciting. You always feel that although they're not coming quite so frequent now, the Italian attacks, you always feel there's some danger there, and yet United are starting to get their time.
Up goes Giggs, plays it in towards Solskjaer. Hasn't got the strength, though, to make an impression there. Jugovic. Again, a good, simple ball played by Jugovic. And again to Boxic, but that time it wasn't accurate enough. It was taken out by Button. Here's Cantona. Cantona again, supported by Beckham. But Torricelli, a back heel.
Somehow or other, Torricelli doesn't look quite right playing on the left-hand side of the defence. I mean, you've seen him like, and rightly so,
on both
how well he
sides,
played. When he's at right back, he comes steaming forward, doesn't he?
Beckham to Cantona. To David Beckham. Gets a cross in, a deep one. Giggs is there, turning it back in again. McClair, possibly. Giggs, possibly. The flag is up.
When United have done that, you know, Brian, when they've crossed deep from right to left, there's been acres of space around that side. If Giggs was to hold his run like that on occasions and not go into the middle too early.
Up goes Keane. Up goes Solskjaer. Here comes Cantona. There goes Beckham. A deep cross towards Giggs again. Oh, and it went too high for Porini. Giggs just keeping it in play.
I think you should do that more often now, Ryan Giggs. Hold the left-hand side more. They're not going to get anything attacking-wise from Johnson. He's a natural central defender. Can't come forward, deliver off his left side. So they need Giggs out here to keep his left foot popping things across.
Giggs to Solskjaer. Little turn by him. Ferrara stuck with him. United get a corner.
Tell you, Brian, they're rugged. They're obviously well organised in their experience, but they don't look unbeatable at the back. You just get the feeling that some pace, some determination, which United have got, could see them undone.
Solskjaer's in the 6-yard area. McClair's on the edge of it. Plenty comes swooping in, and it was Porini with the header with the clearance almost off the line. Here's Nicky Butt. Keane. And now Neville, who's got Cantona waiting on the far side. Now hit it straight to Didier Deschamps. It's a rash challenge. But United get a free kick. Only about 12 minutes to go to half-time now. Gary Neville with the free kick. Beckham's up for this one. Johnson's throw. Solskjaer. Zidane flicks a delightful ball out there for Jugovic. Boxic, no, and he tried to find Del Piero, but Roy Keane took care of him. Gary Neville. Cantona. Neville. Back to May. Johnson. No, that gave Giggs no chance. Zidane. Delivio. Deschamps, bit of space ahead of him. Can he make good use of it? Well, he finds Del Piero. Boxic's waiting in the middle. That's a penalty. Conceded right on the edge of the box, but just inside the box by Nicky Butt.
Yes,
I don't think you can argue with that.
No, he's lunged at him. It's that you get a player who can dance with the ball like this fella can, Del Piero, and you can't really lunge at him. Nicky Butt's feeling aggrieved, but he's got no complaint on that.
Well,
I think what always makes it work worse as well with foreign players, Brian, they do have this habit of flying through the air, but that's a definite penalty.
well, Del Piero, the man who is now going to try and convert it. The referee not happy with him teeing it up. Now can Schmeichel do something about it here? Del Piero's a wizard from this range. It's 1-0.
Classic penalty, wasn't it? I mean, you must look at... You see Schmeichel stood in front of you. He's like a house stood in front of you. And to rifle it then, give him absolutely no chance. Made and scored by Del Piero. He is a good player, isn't he? I know we've said it. It's stating the obvious, if you like, but he is a good player.
Giggs to Solskjaer. No foul. Zidane. Bocic. Zidane. Deschamps. Stopped by May. Deschamps. The back heel by Del Piero came nowhere. Keane. Getting his men going now. Giggs. Out comes Montero. Loses the ball almost to Beckham, but he got two men supporting him. And then hits the long ball towards Bocic, wins it in the air. Well, you can legislate for most things, but you can't legislate for that. And it was a silly penalty to give away, right on the edge of the box there. No immediate danger. Up comes McClare. Deflection, the corner.
I think you talk about learning processes, and I think Nicky Butt is going to be a super player. I think he's a good player now. But the more they play in Europe, the more they play against this type of opposition, the more they realise you've got to be extra careful when talented players have the ball at the feet in the penalty box.
They pushed everybody forward, United. Here comes the corner again. Keeper had to fist that one away with a good deal of bravery, but playing it wide. The flag has gone up against Beckham. Crowd unhappy with that.
The thing about that, and that's where it makes football such a, if you like, a hard game to sort of bet on or whatever. You look there, it was one of the few attacks they'd had. In the first 20 minutes, you'd have taken that, wouldn't you? You'd have said that's what they've worked for, that's what they've earned. But that was one of their attacks have become less and less as the half's gone on.
Up goes Giggs. Beckham playing it, or rather Butt playing it through towards Giggs. Here's Nicky Butt again. McClare knocked through. Beckham and now Cantona. Little touch for McClare. A lot of space there for Neville. Played in early by him to Solskjaer. But Zidane says, okay, I collect. And here he comes.
He's bossed the game, actually, for me.
He's been terrific, hasn't he?
Every little ball's come out to him. He's kept the thing flowing over, and he's got the licence of not being marked.
There he is again.
He's doing for Juventus what I'm sure Alex Ferguson wants Eric to do for his team, albeit in a slightly different position.
Bocic. And Bocic's away now. Del Piero's in the middle. Zidane supporting now. Bocic again. And McClare with space to bring this one away. Supported there by Beckham. Gary Neville.
To think, Brian, if United had driven up the game against Fenerbahce as they've done tonight, we probably wouldn't be looking at this result half as anxiously.
Del Piero, Jugovic, or rather Deschamps, and here's Delivio. Deschamps to Jugovic. Ferrara, Zidane. Delivio's made a little run, here he is. And there's Perini right up, but he was offside. This is the penalty incident game from another angle.
Yeah, you see, Butts coming back. It's always a problem, I think, when players are running back to challenge, coming back into the penalty box. It's not so bad when you're fronting people up and you can jockey them, but any sort of touch there, which has proved in that one, and the fellow was going to go down.
Butt beaten there. Boksic, great piece of work though by Schmeichel.
Oh, a big moment that. I honestly thought Boksic was going to score then. Couldn't, you know, he did more than David. David May really shouldn't have allowed him to get back at that.
Cantona's header. McClare couldn't gather. Zidane again. Stopped that time by Butt. United have got to drag something out of this game. A defeat, and particularly a Fenerbahce win tonight against Rapid Vienna, which one would think they're entitled to do, although it's still 0-0 there at the moment. If Fenerbahce win, then they go ahead of United into second place with 7 points to United's 6, but there's still plenty to go yet. Perini, Delivio, Deschamps. Del Piero, the scorer from the penalty spot. Solskjaer, nobody much up with him. Now there's some support. Cantona. No. Well, Solskjaer got it back again. Butt plays it wide. Giggs, now this is where something might happen. Oh, this is a great... No. He ran straight into Ferrara. But Johnson couldn't pick it up. Delivio could. And here's Zidane, and suddenly United might be stretched again at the back. They attack them with such pace as well. Tolotelli on the far side, but an offside flag goes up against Zidane. Schmeichel wanting a yellow card for Zidane for having kicked the ball away. The whistle's gone by now, and Zidane... They're kicking it away, but the referee just given the free kick to Manchester United, nothing else. About 2.5 minutes to half-time. United still this goal behind. Solskjaer now. There's Beckham. Driving his cross towards Cantona. Wow. That's as free a header as you're likely to get. And Cantona of a few months ago would have had that nestling in the back of the net.
That's the actual words, Brian. You've read the script brilliantly. That was just thinking it. The times you played against him and all that, and you know that he'll score that against your team. And yet he's had 2 opportunities tonight that, in domestic football, he would score. He would have scored in.
Here's Deschamps. Jugovic to Torricelli. Del Piero's gone running wide on the far side with Gary Neville going with him. May's challenge was successful, but still United can't get possession. Now they can with Solskjaer for a moment at any rate. But just look how Juventus are working.
They'll scurry around the ball, don't they, as soon as they lose it. And I think I said that was the key area for me before the game, the midfield area, and I was quite optimistic, particularly with Keane in there. But that's a bad blow for United, having to take him out that midfield.
Beckham just caught the back of his heel, and back it'll go to Peruzzi.
But you get the feeling if Beckham and Giggs can get plenty of the ball in wide areas, then all's not lost. Because they've shown they're vulnerable, surprisingly vulnerable to me in the air. I mean, May's had his chance. Cantona we've just seen. There was the 2 little scrambles early on. So United have actually had moments when they could have netted.
Torricelli now for Juventus. Giggs couldn't quite get there. Ferrara recovered himself.
But they pop it about so quickly on one-touch football in midfield. All the midfield players can play one-touch football.
Borini. Zidane. Keane's after him. Time added on at the end of 45 minutes. Borini for Juventus.
The showman, Zidane, the two Frenchmen in midfield for Juventus have absolutely run the game. And funnily enough, I didn't fancy Zidane that much in Euro '96. I didn't think he lived up to expectations.
Here's McClare. Well, it's been a thrilling first half.
Oh, it's been excellent since
An absolutely blistering start by Juventus. United coming back into it and then conceding the penalty. Johnson with the throw for Manchester United. Cantona's touch, Butt's touch. Solskjaer trying to chest it down. Butt again trying to get the ball through to McClare, holding it on for a minute. And Cantona claiming that he was obstructed.
No, I think Eric's chasing shadows a little bit there. Defenders do what good defenders do. He got between the ball and the player, and without making an obvious obstruction on it.
Half-time, and Juventus leading by Del Piero's penalty after Nicky Butt had brought him down on the very corner of the penalty area. And this was the crucial moment in that first half. Piero finished off from the penalty spot like this. And it's Manchester United 0, Juventus 1 at half-time here at Old Trafford.
In the second half, I'm not too disappointed. I think it's a fair result at the moment, but you know that we're still in it.
Thank you.
With Ron Atkinson and me, Brian Moore, as the second half gets underway. So Alex saying it's a fair result. I heard him right so far. Let's see what Ryan Giggs in particular can do now. That's a good run, and Montero at the other end of it finds Ferrara. Well, United showing a lot of strength and a lot of purpose here, and in the end, Peruzzi gathers the ball comfortably enough. Certainly in the midst of all the disappointment of Manchester United fans here, you have to say it has been an absolutely sparkling performance by Juventus. Here's Boxic, pursued by David May. Just kept it in, and there it is with Schmeichel. I call Juventus the old lady of Italian football. Well, I can only say here tonight she's hitched up her skirts and put on all her finery and given us really quite a show. United looking to make the most of this second half. Looking for a goal and looking for a point that we hope will lead them towards the quarter-finals of this wonderful European Champions League. Johnson for Solskjaer to Johnson. Cantona's in the middle. Goal kick.
Yeah, you've got to feel sorry for Ronnie Johnson there, haven't you, playing in an unaccustomed position. Now, players can be adaptable, but he looks to me a little bit like a fish out of water on that side. I wonder whether Alex might have considered tampering and switching the fullbacks over. Because Gary Neville would be more sort of adept at that side of the field.
Comes through to Del Piero, Zidane, Del Piero. But they really attacked the ball there, United. David May getting it, and now Giggs trying to feed it through there to Cantona. Now gets it through to Cantona. The flag has stayed down. There's a chance here, and it's gone away. McClare was diving in there as well, but Cantona Would have eaten those for breakfast a year ago.
You know, Brian, I just wonder then, you know, when players, we talk about even the great players like Cantona, when the confidence is low, he had a situation like this, didn't he, on Saturday, which he lifted over the bar, almost from the same position. I just wonder whether, when he's in his prime, he just pinged that one straight in when things were flowing for him. But it's encouraging that they can still get back in there.
Zidane getting it for Delivio. Del Piero's waiting in the middle. Giggs has done his best to hold him up, and it's a goal kick.
That's brilliant for Giggs. Brilliant, because if he doesn't get back and backtrack that winger there, Delivio, they're in a great position, Juventus. But I tell you what, we've been out a couple of minutes. We've seen two attacks at both ends, which both might have produced goals.
Cantona going for this one, but doesn't get to it. Zidane, Delivio, Porini, Montero, Torricelli. Gets it back to his captain Peruzzi, who's also the Italian national goalkeeper. Delivio. Offside flag goes up. Referee quite rightly says play on. United nicely and firmly in possession with Ronnie Johnson. Giggs has just swept inside him and now has gone along the line. There's Ryan Giggs and he won't quite get there.
You don't really want to see Ronnie Johnson overlapping Giggsy. All Ronnie Johnson should concentrate on is getting it and giving it Giggsy and let Giggsy get on with the thing.
Begovic. Keane. Here's May. Down the line towards Beckham. Torricelli though with a back heel finding Zidane. Not finished yet, says Torricelli. Here he is, plays the ball in for boxing. And down goes an excellent piece of goalkeeping by Schmeichel. Superb timing there. This is a breathtaking game.
It's going end to end now. I mean, that was a classic move from Juventus there. Just with the boxing just failing to link up on the final ball.
Begovic. Here's Cantona. And now Butt. And now Johnson. Giggs outside him, waiting. And receiving. Well, he's got the cross in. And Peruzzi there, diving at the feet of Beckham.
Good goalkeeping that, because if he spills that, he's got Cantona coming in right in at the back. But that was encouraging from Ryan Giggs.
Zidane. Oh, delightful play there by Zidane, outwitting Nicky Butt. Now, what's he going to do? Plays it short.
He should have a license to do that. That was unbelievable skill, wasn't it?
Beckham. Butt. Ferrara was shrouning off Solskjaer, and here's that man again, but it's over the top from Del Piero.
That was the time I'm on about, Brian, when if you're playing offside, you get decisions go against you. It could realistically, he might have been offside there, Del Piero, but the linesman let it go that time. The next time he'll flag for the same situation.
Torricelli.
But he's missed a good chance there. You wouldn't have backed money on Del Piero putting the game beyond United there.
Boxic. Well, he might get another chance here. Del Piero again. Giggs is trying to get back. And Giggs does get back, but still Del Piero. Crossed in there. And Schmeichel desperately getting it away. Porini had a shot there. And in the end, it's away in the crowd again.
Well,
Time from Porini.
You saw United play on Saturday, didn't you? You watched the whole match. Were they playing as high up the park defensively as this?
I think they were.
It looks as if it's a game plan to try and condense the game, but they're leaving so much space for those little diagonal runs. I mean, they've had 2 or 3 let-offs in this half now that could have put the game out of sight. I mean, there's a time when to defend high up the park, but there's a time when to just slacken off a little bit, and United at the moment are just holding a straight line.
Let's just hope Juventus rule those misses. It's still only 1-0.
think it's a totally different atmosphere now because of the way it is. Juventus against Man United is one of the great games. But to the Fenerbahce one, with the crowd, you could almost hear a pin drop, couldn't you, in the game?
That's right. Neville to Beckham. Forward again, but there's nobody there.
I just wonder whether Alex might consider bringing Solskjaer off now, who really has found it all too much for him, and give Scholes a little run at the thing. Just make a one-for-one change, if you like.
Giggs, but he won't get there. Delivio. Well, Giggs might get to this one. No, he's driven it. Just half an error there by Delivio, and Giggs pounced on it and has given United a bit more hope.
It's one of the best European games I've seen him have, you know, Giggsy. He's worked hard, and it's hard with him being out for so long. And a couple of times in the last few minutes he's caught Juventus defenders by pressurising them.
Hit forward more in hope than anything else. Cantona tried to get on the end of it. Ferrara's there for Juventus. Up to Bocic. And here's Zidane. Delivio's gone wide for him. Through the middle is Del Piero. Stopped though by Roy Keane. Johnson. And again, lucky to get a second go at it. Oh, here he is again. Now, Ronnie Johnson. Now, play it in. Solskjaer.
I think if it had gone down there, he might have got some there, Brian. I thought for a minute the referee looked at it hard.
Cantona played in once more towards Ryan Giggs. Zidane gets it clear to Deschamps.
What they've done by keeping the game at a fairly high tempo, they're leaving themselves exposed to breaks like this, but at least they're not letting Juventus sort of make the pace of the game in midfield, just pop it about. Trying to get them to hurry the game a little bit.
Deschamps. Delivio. Bit of space for Bocic. Beckham had spotted that. So a lot of space in the penalty area. Zidane couldn't quite get on the end of it. That was some good retrieving there by young David Beckham. And a long clearance by him up towards Cantona. With the Uruguayan Montero's there. Torricelli. Bocic. Given away. In comes McClair. Neville. Beckham along the line. Solskjaer, good turn by him. That's the best thing he's done so far tonight, but his pass still wasn't a good one. Tried to retrieve it, and they're certainly working really hard now. Cantona trying to get it through to Giggs and couldn't quite make it.
I think when they've shown this off, whether Alex Ferguson has said, let us try and play a pressing game and try and get some challenges on their back people, that's certainly what appears to have happened, and they've won quite a fair bit of possession.
Cantona's header. And Ferrara's clearance. Here's Jurgovic. Torricelli. Zidane. Bocic. Delivio. Del Piero's in the middle. So too was May. Nodding that one away. Zidane again. Oof! Goodness, I thought that was going in.
Oh, that was sweet, wasn't it? What's brilliant about this, just before he cracks it, I think his butt comes flying in, and he just lifted it over butt.
Yes, there.
And there's a lovely, no backlift, and Schmeichel doesn't know that that's gone over. I mean, you've said it a few times, Brian, in the commentary. It is I think it's a terrific game. So many things happening. I also think it's the best I've seen United play in Europe this season, apart from, was it the first 20 minutes against Vienna?
That's right.
I mean, if only the games are always if only they had played like this against Fenerbahce with this drive and spirit.
They get a throw, conceded by Didier Deschamps.
You know, they're almost given as good as they've got against a side who next week could become the club champions of the world.
Right, looking for a long throw here from Gary Neville, and we get one. Comes off Torricelli. Deschamps leads it away. Bocic with a little touch. Zidane again there looking for it and getting it. Torrini.
What they can do, though, they can sprint from midfield, Juventus, in the knowledge that anything knocked in, usually to Boxic or to Del Piero, sticks. They very seldom get a bad ball played back to them when they support the front pass.
But playing it through, Cantona, will this fall for him? No. Peruzzi.
That was a brilliant run of Cantona, just turned and spun and had the ball played over the top. But unfortunately, he didn't quite know his bearings.
Keane certainly tightened things up a good deal at the back now. Beckham, McClair, this looks better. Solskjaer was back on his heels though. Torricelli gets there first. But there are just moments now when you think United might be putting one or two things together.
Yeah, they're playing at a high tempo, and I always think that suits them better when they play at a high tempo.
Neville's throw. Solskjaer, challenged by Torricelli. Gets in across beautifully. And the header by Ryan Giggs falls into the arms of Peruzzi, but that was again better by United.
There's always that deep area, isn't it? Deep area on crosses.
And here they come again. Johnson now to Butt. And now to Giggs. Johnson's gone up beyond him. Giggs rifling inside. Solskjaer. No, charge down by Montero. Beckham. McClair's gone on a run for him. Slightly wayward. May start again. Now can Neville get to this? He can't. It just was a little beyond him.
They're playing far more at what we would call a Premiership tempo now.
This was the Giggs header.
Giggs header.
Good work. I think from Solskjaer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't quite get the power into it. He's taking off a standing jump.
Just about now. Juventus still leading by Del Piero's penalty after 36 minutes, but United are coming back at them. Here's Beckham. That's a free kick, and that's the yellow card for Jugovic.
This is United's best period of the game now.
Without a doubt.
They're blazing, all guns are blazing, everybody's running forward. It's that like nothing to lose attitude now.
They've got a free kick here, they're working hard, they just need a break now. Giggs with that free kick, floated in, but it wasn't a good one. McClair trying to get it back.
The worst possible thing is hit the near man, and that's what it's enabled them to do. It's spring very quickly.
Neville knocks it back. It was from just that sort of situation in Turin, where they broke out again. They are devastating on the counter-attack, Juventus, and scored the only goal of the match that night. Torricelli. Jugovic. Mind you, you had a great battle against Juventus when you were manager here, I remember.
Yeah, we got a 1-1 draw, and coincidentally we were getting beat 1-0 in the first half.
Yeah.
So maybe there's an omen there for the United lads.
Zidane. Comes for Delivio. Crowd are giving United everything here tonight.
Yeah, but United, the players are giving it them back as
yes.
well.
Oh, it's come to Beckham. Almost to Cantona. Played down the line very, very well indeed by Solskjaer. McClair battling to get there, but it'll be a goal kick.
They've really picked up the tempo, Giggs and Beckham, this half, haven't they?
There are little shafts of light now for United, aren't there? Still a goal down. Peruzzi with the goal kick. Up goes Del Piero. Solskjaer. Beckham. Oh, my goodness, he nearly threaded that ball through to Cantona. But here's Del Piero. Break is on again for Juventus. And Neville did so well there. And it's still 0-0 in Istanbul between Fenerbahce and Rapid Vienna. Well, if the result stayed this way after 90 minutes, United would still be on 6 points, and they would still be ahead of Fenerbahce, who would have moved on to 5 points with 1 game to play. Just remind you that Fenerbahce's last game is in Turin against Juventus. United's is away in Vienna against Rapid.
I wish when he gets the ball in those wide areas, Giggsy would go wide a little bit with the ball, run it wide instead of diving infield too early.
Neville.
I think he's got the beating of the right-sided defender for pace, and I'm sure if he can get into those areas they were talking about at half-time where they can pull the ball back.
Chile, that's a yellow card for him. Free kick again for United. Beckham to hoist it. Keane's gone forward this time. They've left just Buck and Neville back. Plenty of movement up there for Manchester United, as you can see, as David Beckham hits this free kick in. Just wide from Solskjaer.
Well, I must admit, as soon as he's made contact here, Brian, I thought, what a great equaliser. Great curling ball in. He's got in between defenders. Unfortunately for the youngster, it hasn't gone in, so that would have made him a folk hero here.
May with a header. They're getting their odd chance at one end of the field. It's so important United stay absolutely strong and vigilant at the other. Zidane. Del Piero. Deschamps playing it in again, but here's Keane up to Cantona. Giggs has made a great run down the left. Cantona hasn't spotted him, and he's played it instead to Solskjaer on the right. And we've lost it. Jugovic. Well, it really has been that sort of game. Jugovic thinking he was away and clear, and suddenly Solskjaer was at him.
I mean, I think they're magnificent, Juventus, but I tell you what, I'm not too sure they're very happy with the tempo that United are setting on them. I mean, we're talking about a lot of world players, and they're getting caught in possession, and they're not anywhere near as comfortable as they were in the first half. That's not to say they're still not playing well.
Bokcik. Keane's going with him. Juventus throw. Zidane and Del Piero are in the box. Jugovic making a move in that direction. Piero on the end of it. Goal kick.
By the way, that might be a very good chance there from Del Piero. He's got right across the front of May. And I think Lippi will probably think he should have been near a target with that.
Here's Neville. Leclerc. Solskjaer. Cantona through the middle. Kicks is away on the flank there. Driving it through, and it needed a touch. Cantona wasn't quite up far enough, and neither was Leclerc just to apply that touch.
Brian, was that a shot, or was it cross, or was it cross-come shot? I actually think when he plays him in here, I think you're thinking, go on, take it, first touch, go in on goal. And then if he screams the back of the net, you all turn around and say, well, that's the goal of the decade again. But I honestly felt he could have taken that in on it. Swept, gone closer on goal with it.
But at the moment, United are getting more than a sight of Juventus' goal.
Oh, terrific, terrific. Terrific at the moment. You just hope that, you know, they don't get one of their breaks with the two front players. They got to make it 2-0, because at the moment United look very capable of bringing the game back.
Here's Keane coming forward for the first time, spraying the ball out for David Beckham. There's his long cross in, and Solskjaer, well, it came off the Juventus defender. It's going to be a corner. Ferrara complaining to the referee that it wasn't a corner. Juventus may be getting a little edgy now. United putting them under a lot of pressure as Beckham wheels another corner in. And Nicky Butt with a shot that was way off the target. Goal kick to Juventus.
And if they can sustain this pace and tempo and pressure, you know, there's still plenty of time left on it.
Yep.
And you know,
Halfway through the second half.
talking about what's happening in Turkey, what price now if United could nick and equalise and keep it that way? And that result stays the same in Turkey.
Keane with a header. Cantona also, but he didn't quite know where it went. Johnson, that's a lovely ball he's played. Giggs after it. Giggs is cross. Gain towards Cantona. Beckham shot! Oh!
That is unbelievable. I mean, Beckham's must have hit 20 of those in the net this season, hasn't he? But encouraging again. Giggs is making it all happen now. He's flying down there.
Good. Listen to the crowd now. The crowd are loving this now. Johnson. But United still this goal down. The penalty by Del Piero in the first half. Giggs.
I tell you what,
a corner.
I'm amazed at, Brian. I'm amazed that Delivio hasn't dropped into a more defensive position to try and help the defence a bit more.
I tell you something, Juventus have pulled every man back inside the penalty area now. Everyone, bar none. Here comes the corner. Floated in. And it'll be another one. Just look at that Juventus penalty area now. Everyone is back. Beckham with the corner again. Oh, the keeper had it, lost it. It almost fell at Giggs' feet.
That must be a bit unnerving to beat Peruggi in the middle of that. There's thousands of them in there.
May's header. Oh, Zidane with a long, that was a clever piece of play. That was a clever piece of play. He wondered whether Schmeichel may have been a yard or two off his line, but Schmeichel wasn't. Here's Beckham. That's a good ball. He's found Giggs again. There's Giggs crossing it in. But playing it to Neville. Played in again towards Solskjaer. United get another corner.
They must crack in a minute. You get the feeling United must be rewarded now.
Beckham with this one. But not a good one. Comes off Zidane. And it'll be a throw to Juventus.
I'm amazed that Juventus have allowed United's wide players to have the ball so easy. Particularly Giggs. I mean, Giggs has only got to pull himself to the touchline, and he can have the ball all day. You know, normally you'd expect an Italian defensive mentality to say, he's a threat, we go block him out. Whether it's because they feel safe in the league itself with the cushion of points they've got.
It straight at Zidane. Zidane at the same time tries to thread it through to Boxic. Here's Solskjaer. He's having a better second half now. Deschamps dispossesses him though. Finds Jugovic. Zidane again. Whoop. Beckham gives it away again, but trying to get it back. Torricelli. Oh, terrific play by Torricelli. Now Boxic knocked it wide for Del Piero. And the little chip by him, thanks very much, says Schmeichel. So it's out with Giggs. That's a lovely sweeping ball by Giggs. Inch perfect for David Beckham. But Torricelli's there.
Not many will remember that, Brian, but that reminded you of Hancock's to Mullen, didn't it? In the original European matches.
That was, if Beckham gets a yellow card here, he's out of the next game, but he doesn't get a yellow card. He's already on a yellow card. So a free kick for Juventus. I just wonder if United can keep this sort of pace going for the rest of the game. Goes goes Cantona for this one, but Montero wins it in the air. May for Manchester United. Now Zidane yet again. Offside flag is up against Del Piero.
That's all Johnson should be doing, just looking to give it Giggs there.
Cantona. Also, flag is up. Flag is up. The linesman has got the flag up. The referee hasn't seen him yet. Now he has. It's a free kick. It's not a corner.
I tell you what, this will be very much touch and go. Cantona's just making it now.
Ooh.
He may be half a shoulder offside. Yeah. Great decision, linesman, unfortunately.
So Peruzzi's kick.
I think every time Johnson gets the ball now, he just wants to say, do nothing else, give it Giggs. Just give it Giggs, feed him.
Good challenge by Nicky Butt.
And Boxing's had a bit of a bang on the head as well.
And here's Giggs again. Plays it inside for Johnson. No, he won't. But Johnson does well to get out by stretching those long legs again, retrieving the ball and finds Roy Keane. Now McClare. Long again towards Solskjaer. But Peruzzi makes the clearance. Johnson. Giggs. Crowd loved that, and why not? That was brilliant. Now Beckham. He's moved inside a bit. Cantona's withdrawn to this right flank. There's a lovely ball by Beckham for Giggs. Driven in this time, and Montero, and now Cantona, and the corner. Again, Juventus pull everybody back. Roy Keane has gone forward. Cantona taking this corner. Knocked in by Nicky Butt. Not away yet. Peruzzi's come a long, long way. Finds Roy Keane. Blasted wide.
Well, Zidane certainly earned his money there. I mean, he's played brilliantly in terms of keeping the thing ticking over, but his block here on Keane. When this falls down to Roy Keane, you think, here's a fellow that can score from there. That's brilliant defending, that.
Quarter of an hour left. United still a goal down. Neville going it in towards McClare. Now Zidane. Here's Jugovic. Zidane again. Not one substitute on yet.
I just think I'm amazed that somebody like Lombardo hasn't come on and just closed that side of the field up.
Arini. Delivio. Deschamps. Jugovic. Torricelli. Boxic going for it. Safely with Schmeichel, and a good long throw out by Schmeichel sends Solskjaer racing in, and Giggs through the middle here, and he's got Cantona alongside him. It's with Giggs, he's brought down. That's a free kick. Could be a yellow card for Ferrara.
I'll tell you what, Brian, he might be just a touch lucky that the recovering defender Montero is just behind him.
Now, can United conjure something from here? They're looking at Giggs. Cantona's just patted him on the back, but Giggs is not going to be a part of this free kick. Might be Beckham, might be Keane, might be Cantona himself. I think it's going to be Beckham.
Yeah, it shapes as if it...
There's some fun and games going on in the wall too, and plenty in the wall. And Beckham.
Brian, the keeper's showing an awful lot to his right-hand side, you know. He's gone back over to check his wall now. A Beckham special, up and down. Get it up over the wall and down quickly.
Now, the referee's got the wall lined up. Beckham shot. Well, it was a good free kick, but Peruzzi was equal to it. And meanwhile in Istanbul, Fenerbahce have gone 1-0 ahead against Rapid Vienna.
Tries some. Oh my goodness, he had to push that away, and fortunately for Peruzzi, it didn't fall either to McClare or Beckham, who were following in. There's the touch. Giggs can't get hold of this one. Porini, but it's been a terrific second half for Manchester United, and they just haven't had a chance. The break to get the goal that really mattered. But here's Beckham, and now here's Giggs. Solskjaer just behind the flying figure of McClare. Neville, crowd shouting that Boxic's behind him. Juventus about to make a substitution, we understand. Cantona's shot, which was fisted away by Peruzzi. Deschamps to his fellow Frenchman Zidane. Jugovic. Boxic waiting in the middle. Boxic. And the offside flag is up.
I find that amazing that Del Piero should be offside there, shouldn't he? You know, it's often quoted about the lad that's looking along the line should never be offside, but it is criminal, really.
Bringing on Takenadi and taking, we understand, Delivio off. In the meantime, Beckham swinging out another long ball, hope to find McClare because Giggs had gone inside. Good interception there by Johnson. Here's Del Piero.
In actual fact, since he missed that chance, Del Piero, when he got through high inside right position, United have absolutely swept them to one side with everything except the final thing.
He's had a very good game, Delivio, hasn't he?
But first half, I'm surprised second half. I mean, I've seen him work up and down that right flank, and I thought, I don't know, I thought he'd have just said, oh, you go and sit on Giggs and don't let him get possession. Because Porini really has had a torrid time, hasn't he, defensively?
And Takenadi comes on. Just a slight whisper that I'm getting is that United might soon make a substitution, bringing Jordi Cruyff on in place of Gary Neville.
But in the meantime, it's McClare, and he's found Solskjaer, and he couldn't quite find a way through to Cantona. Torricelli, Boxic, good challenge by Nicky Butt, and another one by him, and they're flying at the moment, United. They're getting their tackles in, and they're working so hard. Butt. Keane, up to Cantona. Here's Beckham. And they still find a way through Juventus. Beckham with another long cross, but oh, it's reached Ryan Giggs. Crossed in again by him. And that time Ferrara got it away, but again only as far as Giggs. Still with Giggs. And Solskjaer trying to go around them all and crossed it into the side netting. At a corner. It came off a Juventus defender. Beckham, knowing that time is precious now, trying to get Jordi Cruyff on. It's going to be Solskjaer who comes off.
It's funny, I thought that might have happened just after half-time, but he seems to be sparked into life.
Yeah, he's not had a bad second half, has he? So Solskjaer goes, Jordi Cruyff comes on, and Juventus are going to bring a defender, Giuliano, on. But here's the corner first. Floated in. Peruzzi's fists get it away. Here's Cantona trying to return it. My goodness! Well, they claim that it was flicked over by the goalkeeper and should be a corner.
It certainly looked that way, didn't it? I mean, the goalkeeper made an awful, horrendous rick in the first place to punch this one out to him. And that's his distance, that's his volley, that's the one he scores goals from.
Torricelli coming off.
No, it's hit the bar. Clipped the bar again. certainly Torricelli has looked nothing like the Torricelli that of last season.
Boxic with a header. Johnson to May. 7 minutes left. Cruyff gets up and gets up very well indeed. And he gets in again, Cantona. And Cruyff couldn't quite get on the end of it. But plays it wide for Beckham.
That might be the first untidy ball he's played all match, although he could fully understand what he was looking for, just to turn it round the corner and hope he picked up a runner with it.
Keane, Gary Neville, David Beckham again, knocked it in again. Will Giggs get to this? No, headed back by Porrini.
What price if he gets to the last minute like this and they get a corner? Is there any chance Schmeichel will come up?
Yes, he'll be there. Neville not taking any chances, although Schmeichel could have gathered that one up because it was headed back by Gary Neville. It's wide from Jurgovic. Here's Johnson coming forward now. Neville. Giuliano's header. Deschamps. Giuliano. Jurgovic. Oh, this is good stuff again. This is good stuff by Juventus again as Boxic takes it up. Zidane is there. Del Piero's on the far side. Boxic with the shot. The header there by Del Piero. And Schmeichel with a good long throw out. Tries to find Cantona with it. But Butt now finds Giggs. And now we're away again. That's a free kick. By Deschamps.
That's what I wish, instead of driving inside too early, I wish he'd carry it along the flank a bit more, because he's certainly got the skinning of Porrini.
Cantona on that far side. Gary Neville played wide for Beckham. A lovely flick by Beckham. Neville plays it in and just played it maybe 2 or 3 yards too close to the Juventus goal. Other than that, McClair, Cantona and Jordi Cruyff would have been in there.
Well, that's when it's Unite, Brian. I mean, I thought that was a great teasing ball and a lovely little layoff under pressure from Beckham here. Takes and just plays it into an area where, yeah, they've got distances to make up, but normally speaking, they're ugly balls for defenders to deal with.
Johnson's header, won by Cruyff, and here's Keane surging forward now. Jurgovic. Del Piero. That's a free kick.
He's bought that one a little bit there, Del Piero. It was nowhere near as blatant as the penalty.
Tacanardi with it. Finds Deschamps. Zidane. Stopped by McClair, but they still keep possession. Giuliano. Changed his mind about 4 or 5 times and then lost it completely. And then doesn't want to retreat. Doesn't want Beckham to get hold of the ball. Schmeichel hammering it forward. Just Cantona and Giggs are up there. Montero with the
There's that space again, Brian.
Now Giggs again. There's the deep cross too close to the keeper.
I know he may be tired a little bit. You have to accept that with Ryan Giggs, short of match play. But I think he's got to try and run it to them, run it to the corners of the penalty box. I mean, he's absolutely got the fullback on ice the way he is. The fullbacks really didn't know what day it is when he runs at him.
No foul. Tacanardi thought he got one, but the referee thought otherwise. Neville. 2.5 minutes to go. I don't think the trainer's been on all night, so I don't think there'd be much time added on. May does well there. And a little flick there sends Beckham surging forward. Cruyff's ahead of him. And on the far side again is Giggs. Little touch by him to Keane. Keane playing it wide again for Cantona. Now the cross is a good one. The fist of Peruzzi just stopping Nicky Butt, I think it was, who was furthest forward. Jurgovic. Schmeichel will get there first. And a little chip over Jurgovic to Cantona. 1.5 minutes.
Go on, one last run line. Go on, take him on. Johnson's taking his space there for an overlap.
Little touch by Nicky Butt was a good one. Beckham. Oh, McClare's made a break. Oh, that final pass just wasn't good enough. Both Cruyff and McClare were on their blocks and ready to go. Del Piero. Beckham. Keane. Forced into a central defensive position with the early injury to Philip Neville. Giggs doing well. McClare's right in there. Cruyff is right in there. Giggs was in there. The crowd were howling for a penalty just for a moment when Giggs came in on that one. And now the break is on for Juventus. Del Piero with Boxic up there as well. Down the line for Ryan Giggs. It falls for Butt. And then for Cantona. Can they find a way through? They can't. Peruzzi gets it clear. Keane with a header. But now there could be trouble. The flag has stayed down. Boxic is through. The flag has stayed down. It could be 2-0 now. But it's not.
Oh, that could have been all sorts. I know there's only seconds left now, but Boxic looked miles offside there.
Now, Keane hammering it forward to the other end. Are we going to get a dramatic finish yet? Neville. Swept to Ryan Giggs, but it didn't reach him. Perini was there to block the way. Time added on at the end of 90 minutes. Nicky Butt. And again, they couldn't find Giggs with it. And Del Piero, the man who scored from the penalty spot after 36 minutes, drives it wide here now for Jurgovic. Del Piero's there again. And it's gone over the top. It's a corner.
Yeah, it got one of those loops. I thought for a minute we were going to get a replay.
Another one of
the Fenerbahce first goal.
Volic's goal for Fenerbahce.
What it does, of course, it eats up valuable seconds now.
Valuable seconds, and to be fair, Juventus aren't exactly rushing to get the penalty, the corner taken. Jurgovic will take it. The referee will add on a bit. We already had over a minute of time added on. Bad corner. Beckham with the long clearance. Just Giggs surrounded by 3 defenders, but he gets a good header in for Cantona, who just gets there first. It might not get beyond that for Manchester United. Cantona playing it for Giggs on this side, but the flag has gone up for an offside. Gosh, there couldn't have been much in that.
Well, I'd like to see that one again. I don't even think that was anywhere near off. Perhaps with biased he was, yes. Well done again, linesman.
Yeah, just about.
Just excitement.
So United, if they go down to defeat, remain on 6 points in this group. Fenerbahce, if they in fact hold their 1-0 win against Rapid Vienna, go on to 7 points. We're nearly 2 minutes into injury time. And again United comes surging forward, looking for this last gasp saving. Beckham. Giggs. Played in towards McClare, and Juventus just happy to get that away to Zidane. What a game he's had. In comes Keane again. Oh, that's a free kick. Cantona. The final whistle's gone. Well, it took 40 years for Manchester United to lose this amazing European record at home. They did that against Fenerbahce, and now, irony of ironies, the next match they've lost again, this time to Juventus, which makes their process towards getting into the quarterfinals much more hazardous now. So, a lot of hard thinking ahead now for Alex Ferguson. United beaten 1-0 by Juventus here.